Hello, I am Tom Cece, pastor of Centennial Christian Church here in Bloomington, Illinois. So nice of you to join me at this time. I know some of you are on chat. I can tell that you are on chat with me and able to chat. Others, I believe, will be joining me um, as a video and listening to this. Um, so thank you very much for being with me at this time. I'd like to give a little reflection on a psalm. This is Psalm 103, verses 4 to 5. The psalmist writes, "Bless God, O my soul, who crowns you with loving kindness and tender mercies, who satisfies you with good things as long as you live." So, I encourage you to let God anoint you with God's presence. He has been called, especially through the holidays, the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, dwelling in unapproachable light. So when you draw near to God, God responds by coming closer to you. Another way of saying this, however, is that God is always attached to you. God is always connected to you. But from time to time, we somehow pull away from God, and we need to draw nearer to God in our awareness. So as God's presence envelopes you, you may feel overwhelmed by God's power and glory. Glory meaning that God is connected to you. God is attached to you. God's Spirit is abiding within you, and you live in the risen Christ who is one with God. It's a form of worship, sensing your smallness in comparison to God's greatness. And God's greatness is always there. We, you and I, simply need to surrender to that greatness. So humanity has tended to make ourselves the measure of all things. But the human measure is too tiny to comprehend God's majestic vastness. God is always there. That is why most people do not see God at all, because they seem too tiny, even though they live and move and have their being in God. Enjoy the radiant beauty of God's presence. Declare God's glorious being in the world. Once again, glory meaning united, connected. So God is connected to the world that God created. God is united to all of creation and united to you. So I like to speak about joy. Your true self is who you think you are, your ego, connected to God's Spirit abiding within you, abiding within your heart, within your mind. And that gives you joy. Joy is one of the grand attributes of God. It is an integral part of God's character. Joy runs like a sparkling stream of great goodwill through God's makeup, known as the God of all joy. God rejoices in all our accomplishments. God is joyful as the character of God. It is because of God's joy for us that we can then bring that joy into the community and bring love. So joy is connected to everything, including sorrow and heartache and disease and failures. joy is always present. So when we discover for ourselves that God really is like an endearing loved one, then we are in a joyful, delightful way. And we can always be in that joyful, delightful way. So remember, you are anointed with God's presence that gives you joy continuously, no matter what occurrences are happening in your life. Stay in the awareness that you are connected to God. Amen.